There is a moment in every life when silence roars louder than noise. A moment when doubt becomes a wall and the dreams you once held like fire slip between your fingers like smoke. We all know that moment. It's the one when you look in the mirror and question whether the reflection staring back at you still carries the strength to rise. I am here to tell you, not just gently whisper, but thunder through your soul, that you do. You have more power within you than you have ever dared to unleash. Not because someone gave it to you, not because it was passed down like a family heirloom, but because it was forged in the fire of everything you've survived. You've bled, you've wept, you've broken, and still, here you are, standing, breathing, existing, and that is not weakness. That is not failure. That is the foundation of something unshakable. Your story is not finished, not by a long shot. Every day you wake up is a blank page, and too many of us hand the pen to fear. We allow uncertainty to narrate our chapters, but today I challenge you, take the pen back. Write your story in ink, thick, with purpose. Write it with grit, with fire, with all the wild strength inside you that's been waiting for permission to roar. And if you're waiting for a sign, let this be it. Let these words break open the door to a future you've only dared to glimpse. Because what lies ahead is not determined by the limits of your past. No, the past is your teacher, not your captor. The past is the ashes. You are the phoenix. There will be voices, loud, bitter, cutting voices that try to remind you of your scars, that call you by your failures, that count every time you fell and ignore every time you stood. Let them speak, let them shriek, let them echo against the steel you've become, because you are not defined by their expectations. You are not built from their doubt. You are the product of persistence, of late nights and empty bank accounts and sweat that soaked through your shirt while no one was watching. You are here because something in you refused to be extinguished. And that something, that stubborn, hungry, unkillable force, that is your truth. I don't care how far down you think you are. I don't care how many times you've lost. I don't care if your hands are shaking and your voice is a whisper. As long as there is breath in your lungs, there is fight in your soul. Don't you dare let this world convince you that you are small. Don't you dare shrink to fit the spaces you've outgrown. You were not made to live half a life. You were not made to barely survive. You were born to rise, to stretch the limits of what's possible, and to show this world what's possible when fire walks on two legs. Your time is not later. It is now. This moment, right here, right now, is not waiting for someone else. It is not holding its breath for a hero to descend from the sky. It is looking at you, at the person who has survived the storm, who has tasted disappointment and still keeps coming back. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have every answer. You only need to move forward, inch by inch, step by trembling step, because momentum is built not by leaps, but by relentless movement, small acts of courage, small choices to believe in yourself when belief feels like a lie. And if you fall again, so what? Fall forward, crawl if you must, but keep going, because the finish line does not require elegance. It only demands endurance. People may not see your greatness yet. They may look past you, underestimate you, mock your dreams. Let them. You do not need their permission to shine. You do not need applause to validate your steps. You validate them by daring, by choosing the hard road when the easy one looks tempting. You become unstoppable not by magic but by mastery, mastering your mind, your habits, your choices. You conquer when you refuse to quit, even when your bones ache with exhaustion. You rise when you speak to yourself with power, even when your heart is heavy with doubt. That is the path. That is the way. Not glitz, not fame, not shortcuts, but raw, relentless perseverance. Every obstacle you face is not a barrier. It is a test, a question echoing from the universe. How bad do you want this? And your answer cannot just be words. It must be action, discipline, sacrifice. That's the currency of dreams. And if you are not willing to pay, then step aside for someone who is. But if you are ready to bleed, sweat, cry, and claw your way forward, then nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you. The world will try, life will try, but every attempt to break you will only sharpen your edge, because warriors are not made in calm, they are born in chaos. You must be willing to be uncomfortable, to stretch, to hurt. Growth demands discomfort. It rips through complacency and dares you to become something greater. So do not avoid the pain, lean into it. Let it teach you, let it shape you. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a chapter where you rise like never before, where you speak with conviction, where you stand so tall that doubt breaks against your spine like a wave against a cliff, where your past becomes fuel, not weight. Let them wonder what changed. Let them ask where this fire came from, and when they do, smile, because you'll know it was always there. You just finally gave it permission to burn. You are not here by accident. You are not a mistake. There is something in you that this world desperately needs. Your voice, your vision, your fire, and if you don't bring it, no one else will. So don't you dare dim yourself to fit into boxes too small for your soul. Don't you dare silence your roar to comfort the ears of cowards. Be too much, be fierce, be the kind of presence that shakes the ground when you walk in. You don't owe this world an apology for being powerful. You owe it a demonstration. And when fear whispers, as it always does, when it hisses that you're not enough, not ready, not worthy, stand taller, breathe deeper, and answer back with action. Because fear is a liar. It is loud, yes, but it is hollow. It only wins when you believe it. Don't. You are not here to be conquered. You are here to conquer. And not just for yourself, but for everyone watching you. For the ones who need to believe it's possible. For the ones still trapped in their own silence. Your courage is not just yours. It's contagious. So let it spread. Let it spark something in others. Let your rise be the reason someone else refuses to give up. There is power in choosing to continue, in refusing to surrender, in showing up again and again, no matter how bruised you are. There is greatness in the mundane, in the unnoticed grind, in the lonely pursuit, in the quiet discipline. That's where champions are made, not under lights, not on stages, but in the dark when no one claps, and you still move forward. Be that person. Be the one who keeps going when it's hard. Be the one who turns pain into purpose, and struggle into strength. That's who you are. That's who you've always been. And when success comes, because it will, do not forget this fire. Do not forget the nights you doubted, the days you almost gave up, the tears you swallowed in silence. Let them keep you humble. Let them keep you hungry, because real power is not in arriving. It's in continuing. It's in knowing there's always more to give, always another level, always another soul to lift. So never settle, never stop, burn bright, burn bold, and let your life be a testimony to what happens when a human being dares to believe they are unstoppable, because that's what you are, unstoppable, unbreakable, unforgettable. You are not here to blend in, you are here to stand out, to leave a mark so deep. History has no choice but to remember your name. So rise, again and again, until your feet blister and your voice grows hoarse. Rise until your presence is thunder and your journey is legend, because you were not made to whisper. You were born to roar.